Why don't you share a little bit about that? Was there any significant issues or things that were problematic, I guess, throughout the years from when you were elementary to like high school?
Yes. So in the 5th grade, during, when you have in elementary, when you have PE class, you always want to be the star. You always want to, go hard, show who you are. And so that got me in trouble because we ended up playing soccer and I ended up fracturing my left ankle.
Okay.
And so that's when injuries were introduced to me.
Got it.
Was when that happened.
Did you play soccer before that PE class?
No, I haven't played soccer at all.
Okay.
You see, yeah. So I'm just having fun out there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I, fractured my ankle.
Okay.
And so it started from there. And, they just put a cast on me.
Okay.
And so I thought it was the regular where, you get healed from a cast, now your ankle's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And then I realized when you look in the mirror as a kid, and you're like, my left calf is smaller than my right calf.
Yes.
And you're kind of like, I have big calves. So it's like, I know the differences now.
Yeah.
And you kind of grew up like, when I was growing up, I'm kind of like, wow, it's like my left calf is not, it's not as good as my right calf. Like, and I kind of get what's it called?
Self-conscious or something.
Self-conscious about it. And so, it started with that 5th grade. And so, and then you play Pop Warner and you kind of get stingers.
Yeah.
You, as a kid, many kids get stingers.
Yeah.
But there's never trainers in Pop Warner to fix that.
I played Pop Warner too.
Yes.
There's never any trainers in Pop Warner.
Yeah.
But yes, everyone suffers these stingers, which is not ideal.
Yes.
But anyway, and then building off of that.
So building off of that, So building off of that, when it came to school-related sports, organized sports, in the 9th grade, I always had ankle problems from there.
Okay.
Jumping for balls and you kind of land on people's feet, and then maybe you get whiplashed and your knee kicks in, and then your ankle kind of like goes with it, and then it started with in the 9th grade where I would have like playing with one spatted, kind of look rugged, and you kind of think that's normal, because I was always taught in the old school way where it's like, you don't play, you're soft, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so like, even if you don't have a knee pad or a butt pad or you don't play, you're soft, you know what I mean? So, and then it came to 10th grade where, I got into varsity.
Okay.
That's where, more injuries came, to my ankle. I had injuries with my ankle and I also had injuries with my thumb. So I broke my thumb, my left thumb. And then I also had a reoccurring injury with my right ankle. Okay. And so, I played with that my whole sophomore year. Yes. And then my thumb injury actually became into my junior year. Okay. Where I played with a cast.
Got it.
And then I also had a reoccurring right ankle injury. And so that's when my junior year is when I was introduced to pro actually. Okay. And I was introduced to, actually taking care of my body. And so I was like, why didn't I, you're kind of confused as a kid because you're not educated about it. Yeah. So you're kind of like, I have all these injuries I just have and only now, my junior year, I'm actually going to take care of it. Yes. And it's like, everything hurts. Everything hurts. I don't know if it's just my ankle. Yes. But everything besides that, it's kind of hurting. My back, my lower back, my calves, so it's like I have tightness in my calves. And so, when you have, back when when I had that self-consciousness about my calves and all of a sudden it's tight, you kind of like realize like, dang, it's because of my ankle sprains. And it's like,
no, I mean, I think a lot of people go through that. And when you went to pro, that was before I was even at pro. I was still probably in grad school. But people don't realize that all of these things have a cumulative effect on your body. But I think to what you say, there's a fine balance for everything because that mental toughness, that's what makes you a good linebacker. Right. Like, I mean, there's no linebacker that doesn't like to hit, doesn't like contact, right? Yes. That's what makes you a linebacker, Right. I mean, at every level. But there has to be that fine balance where like, you're mentally tough and stuff. But also understanding like, away from football, these are certain things that will help me to perform better, right? It's not so much that, I think that's a misconception, especially with, I guess, sports medicine, right? Is like, oh, you're feeling pain, we're going to hold you out. Like, you know, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I don't believe that at all. It's like every football player, if you're playing on the field, you have pain. Like, you're not going to be pain-free.
Everyone's hurt.
Yes. But it's like, okay, what are you doing to make sure that you can still perform at that optimal level? Of course, still be safe, right? But those two things go hand in hand, because if you're not being safe, you're probably not going to be able to perform, right? But if you're not performing, you're probably not going to be that safe either, whatever it is, the ankle, the shoulder, all of these other things. But that's a good thing. Like, I think a lot of people, especially from Hawaii, that's one of the things that help our athletes succeed, I think, is that mental toughness. A lot of times they were brought up in that environment where, like, just keep doing it, get the job done. But at the same time, it has to be in a smart way so that you have a career. And luckily you did have a career despite, you know, suffering all the ankle injuries and everything. So once you started to figure out junior year that, okay, there's certain things that is helping me to take care of my body, how did that play out?
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I started to take care of my body my junior year, that's when things clicked to where I'm getting better. Like, my ankle's getting better. My performance is getting better. And so it's like, I'm realizing I'm a football player. It looks like I'm going to be going to the next level.
Okay.
And so that's when my breakout year was in my junior year.
Okay.
And so that's when I actually started to take care of my body, and I kind of started training better, you know, because you kind of wanted to, you know, when you go from year to year, you kind of see what you want to work on. And so for me, it was being healthy. And so, my junior year was with that. And my senior year was, you know, it's the same thing, you know, the same injuries, but it's kind of retuning and getting bigger now since you're about to go to college. And so that's when I actually realized that, you know, San Diego State came. They offered me, UH offered me. And so, that's when I realized that, you know, focusing on my body actually kind of got me to the next level.